of WAIA to provide the financial report. Thanks.
Thanks, Richard. Okay, so today I've got the fun task of going through numbers. I'll go through some points first, and then I'll take some questions if you've got any questions on the financials. As per previous years, the financials have been prepared by Craig Anderson, from Bellet Tax and Accounting. I've used Craig for a number of years, and Leon Yap from Accounting One Stop. Again, there's a combination of accountants and auditors we've used over a number of years. This financial year, our income compared to last year has actually increased, just under 25%. Most of this increase has been attributed to the growth in our peerings, just in terms of members and in terms of the number of peering exchanges that we're actually doing now. Our cash position is quite strong, as per has been over the previous years. Our operating accounts are quite strong as well. Our cash flow itself is quite strong, and we continue to retain a significant term deposit. So in terms of cash in the bank, as I said, previous years, it's no reasonable change there. One thing that has changed significantly this year in the financial reports is just the way depreciation for assets that we've acquired have been reportable. There's been a change in the last 12 months where capital purchases were actually anything under less than $1,000 were depreciated within 12 months. That amount's actually been lifted to $6,500. So there's a large amount appearing on a low-cost asset depreciation base, which hasn't been on previous reports. We have been buying quite a lot of equipment for the exchange points over the last 12 months and been various projects as well. And it just happens that a lot of those amounts equate to less than $6,500. So hence the reporting difference there. Our total expenses for the financial year have increased, just taking out depreciation. We've increased the base cost of $121,000. Obviously, this is attributed because we've got a larger footprint now in our operations. We've now got a new employee, which we didn't have in the last 12 months. And we've gone sort of on a process of undertaking significant upgrades to equipment and projects sort of in line as they sort of go through. Overall, this is showing a sort of a strengthening in our net position on paper value, but in terms of footprint value, you can see that our services are quite varied now, Australia-wide. Also, our membership base is Australia-wide now as well. We, over the next forecast, within the next 12 months, we will see increased operating expenses, just as we've got New South Wales is just coming online now. But we do anticipate that that's currently in trial, so we're not deriving any income from that. That will change over the next few months as we convert from trial to paid. So we'll see a strengthening in the income position there. And also we've got Storeroom 2, which has been significant project-wise and coming online again within the next few months. So yeah, we expect a strengthening in the income position. And we do not see any significant threats in terms of a drastic change within the next 12 months. So that's just a quick summary on the financials. There's a couple other things I'll run through, and then I'll get questions feel free to ask. As Richard mentioned, we've migrated our accounting systems from my old 3 to 0. This was undertaken just leading up to the changeover of the financial year. So at the start of this financial year, we're now operating under 0. This is a system fully supported by our current accountant, so it's not something that we're taking a risk on that front. And just like to thank both Jane and Kelly, who work a lot on the accounts in that sort of conversion process, because it's been a significant uplift, been a lot of work involved, but the results that have come out of it have been excellent. It's just given us an opportunity to really start from scratch on a lot of things and just set everything up right. So the good thing from that is it will allow us to produce much better and focused reports especially in terms of costs, where our costs lie, where our income streams lie. And of course, all these reports go back to the executive, so it's a more informed executive as we're moving forward on that. As Richard mentioned as well, one of the reasons, which was quite significant, was it allows a better integration platform for the membership board. MILE was just not going to cut it under that sort of type of setup. So this will allow members to access accounting items such as invoices and statements a lot more freely, make payments and inquiries to accounts, so it should better communication from that front. And again, as sort of new services are integrated into the portal, such things as promotional or any ordering of promotional items that we may acquire will be undertaken for that system. The changes also allowed us to better integrate a set of budgets within WAIA's accounts. So Xero's got a nice functionality of being able to bring that in and allow us to produce reports off that. So it's been significant work on just establishing budgets. And again, this helps the executive make a bit more informed decision on capital costs that come up or expense projects that come up. Just so everyone understands where we are at dollar-wise with associations, just a bit more informed. This also has seen the implementation of capital expenditure budget as well. That, as opposed to an expense budget, which is a month-by-month capital expenditure project, is for projects that come up when you sort of want to, for example, New South Wales IX. So we now track those, and Xero allows us to cost everything a lot better and report off that as well. So again, transparency and knowledge are there. Last couple of things. Rich has probably gone through a lot of our achievements this financial year, or this last 12 months. Of course, some of those cost money, so there's been quite a lot of expenditure in sort of developing some of these projects. Rich has probably gone through the majority of projects that we've actually worked on. Just from there's been equipment upgrades, sort of strengthening the position of spares, holes in different exchange points and stuff. This is kind of behind the scenes expenditure in terms of just making sure that the services that we're operating for the members ensure a high quality of service. So in the background, we're investing in that approach as well. So that's it in terms of the financial rundown. I would like to throw the floor open if anyone's got any questions on the numbers, and I'll try to answer the best I can.
Bad debts, it's jumped from almost 3,000 in brackets to it's changed from positive to negative. What's going on?
There was a bad debt, and we did take action against a member who had significant amounts outstanding. In terms of the actual change, why they're in brackets. Sometimes the way the accountants present the numbers are kind of an accounting approach as opposed to a logical approach.
It's recovered.
So
we received the money
has been recovered. Why there's an amount left over, I'd say that's just for we've gone back through and actually looked at members who have, say, for example, 3 or 4 months overdue on some of their accounts. We do have a disconnection policy in place.
Have a look at what you do.
So it's something that we're going to enforce a lot more. That sort of this two-pronged approach. There's an accounting approach where Kelly or Jane will make contact with the member and mention that 3 or 4 months overdue, just as a bit of courtesy to follow up. If it escalates from there, there's a disconnection threat from Joe. That generally rattles people out and gets them paying. So
We'll probably tighten it up less than 3 or 4 months.
Yeah. There actually is a formal WAIA disconnection policy on the website. You can go and have a look at that. It's something that will enforce a lot more. Generally, members are quite good though. So. Not a problem.
Are there any other questions for Paul?
The 75 IP phones and also the few Dell servers,
Okay, so these, what I asked for the accountant this year, which I was assured that it was done in past past years as well. We, as part of depreciating assets, as an organisation, we need to maintain an asset register. So some of these things that are appearing, they're actually assets that WAIA required in the past. So you see that's back from 2003. They remain on the assets register as a method of us, ensuring that we're custodian over the equipment that we purchase on behalf of WAIA members. Some of these projects are going back way a long time. Actually, that was one of the ones that I asked about as well. I think it was.
I thank you for your
you probably,
that one was a promotion for an organisation that was running a inter-knock telephone system, and to try and get some penetration into ISPs in Australia, where did a deal with them and Cisco to purchase 75 handsets, and I think we gave one to every member who was period time. It was about 60 or 70 odd members. So the phone sat on various companies' knocks. I know there was one at INET for a while and a few other companies. I'm sure some never got plugged in. Over the years, I think there might be a few still registered, but the network's pretty dead these days. So as a result, WAIA doesn't hold them anymore, so they need to be written down. They probably should have been done in previous years.
Yeah, look, it's a policy that I've spoken to the accountant about. We don't have a formal disposal of assets policy in place, so it's something that we address this financial year coming up. The big change at the moment, though, is so a lot of those things you see are quite historical. The new way of depreciating things is via a pool method. So generally things aren't listed individually, they'll just be putting into a massive depreciation pool, and then that pool will be depreciated each year. The biggest change this year is actually with that $6,500 write-down of assets, things just get written off within 12 months. So just written off straight off the value. We just still need to maintain an assets register though, so it's something that we're currently looking at. It has been lacking. There is some internal tracking of stuff, but yeah, under advice, we want to just make sure that we've got a track of everything. There's obviously been a lot of purchases with the different exchange points over the last 12 months. Switches, optics, all those kind of fun networking stuff, licenses. Yeah. So yeah, we'll next time around there will probably be a presentation of actually what our assets are and just an asset tag against that. It's not something that we've got at the moment, so it's something that's lacking that we'll address. Interesting to see though some of these projects because I've never heard of that WAIA before. So yeah.
Okay, thank you. Does anyone have any other questions for Paul? Okay, thanks very much, Paul. Thank you. Okay, so the next item of business is our special our amendments to the Constitution.